Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We are going to take you through the nationalism in Kenya. These are group 6 members. We are going to deal with nationalism, basically in Kenya. Let us first of all understand the idea of nationalism, the definition of nationalism. Nationalism is an ideology, first of all, an ideology that holds the nation state in highest political priority. That is, that people should identify with, be loyal to their nation above all else. So nationalism, Kenyans were oppressed by the Europeans. So then Kenyans look that there is a need of them to be united. Therefore, they came up with an idea of nationalism. The leaders in Kenya, they came up with the idea of nationalism so that to unite the country, to avoid the oppressed by the Europeans. So that's how nationalism came in. So this one started in 19th centuries. That's when in the year 1950s. That's when the idea of nationalism started in Kenya. People from different tribes, people from different culture came together. They brought the idea of nationalism, and people picked from there. They saw it's a good idea, and hence started nationalism. They formed many political parties, including Mau Mau. Mau Mau, that is in 1952. This was a political party that was formed by these leaders, and it carried many people from different tribes. Hence, people were able to come together and hold the uprise, hence fight this European oppression. Thank you. From different culture came together. They brought the idea of nationalism, and people picked from there. They saw it's a good idea, and hence started nationalism. They formed many political parties, including Mau Mau. Mau Mau, that is in 1952. This was a political party that was formed by these leaders, and it carried many people from different tribes. Hence, people were able to come together and hold the uprise, hence fight this European oppression. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Onyeki, and I'll be taking you through the factors that led to the rise of nationalism in Kenya. We have point number one, the Mau Mau uprising. The Mau Mau uprising of 1952 served to galvanize the African population and to foster a sense of national pride and identity. The rebellion was led by Jomo Kenyatta, who later became Kenya's first prime minister after independence. We have point number two, African intellectuals. These are the African intellectual class sought to articulate their grievances against the colonial government and to articulate the vision of a free and independent Kenya. These intellectuals included writers, activists, politicians such as Jomo Kenyatta, Tom Mboya, and Julius Nyerere. So we are going to point number three, that is Africanization. Africanization, the new government under Jomo Kenyatta pursued a program of Africanization, whereby they sought to replace the colonial symbol of national identity with symbol of African heritage. This included the adoption of new national anthem, new symbols of national identities such as the flag and the coat of arms, and the use of African languages in official discourse. Point number four, we have economic development. The nationalist movement in Kenya was further strengthened by the government's policies of economic development, education, healthcare, which aim to improve the lives of African population. Our last point, we have the minority rights. The nationalists' discourse in Kenya was also strengthened by the push for equal rights for minority groups, such as women, disabled, and the rest. This helps to create a more inclusive and unified nation. Thank you for your time. I welcome the next presenter.
I am Silas Kipkemboi, and I will be taking you through role of religion during nationalism. The role of religion during nationalism in Kenya was and continues to be a complex one. Religion has been used both as a unifying factor for Kenyans and as a source of division. Ultimately, the role of religion during nationalism in Kenya will depend on how it is used and by whom. How did religion united Kenyans during nationalism? Religion united Kenyans during nationalism by providing a shared identity and a unified platform for discussing issues of identity and nation building. During the Mau Rebellion, for example, religious leaders provided spiritual guidance to the rebels and helped to unify them in a common cause. Religion also provided a common language through Kenyan could express their shared aspirations and grievances. In addition, religious organizations such as Catholic Church provided a forum for Kenyans to discuss their grievances and to organize protests against colonial rule. Finally, religious leaders also, such as Jomo Kenyatta and Julius Nyerere, provided moral leadership and sense of purpose that helped unify Kenyans during their struggle for independence. How did religion divide Kenyans during nationalism? Religion has also been a source of division during nationalism in Kenya. During the 2007 and 08 post-election violence, religion was used as a tool to incite violence and hatred between different ethnic religious groups. In addition, religious organizations have often been used to advance political agendas and foster support to particular candidates or parties. Finally, religious leaders have been used to promote a particular ideology or worldview, leading to division between those who support these views and those who do not. As a result, religion has both united and divided Kenyans during nationalism, depending on how it is used by whom. Has also been a source of division during nationalism in Kenya. During the 2007 and 08 post-election violence, religion was used as a tool to incite violence and hatred between different ethnic religious groups. In addition, religious organizations have often been used to advance political agendas and foster support to particular candidates or parties. Finally, religious leaders have been used to promote a particular ideology or worldview, leading to division between those who support these views and those who do not. As a result, religion has both united and divided Kenyans during nationalism, depending on how it is used by whom.
Uh, my name is Ronald Benjamin, and I'm going to discuss with you about the impacts of nationalism in Kenya. The first impact is that it led to the rise of strong sense of national identity and pride. And the second impact is that it led to the creation of a unified nation with a shared purpose and identity. And the third point is that it led to the adoption of African symbols of national identity in place of colonial symbols. And the fourth point is that the development of stronger sense of social cohesion and solidarity. And then we have the fifth point being that it led to improved access to education and healthcare for the African population. And the sixth point is that it led to increased economic development and growth. Seven is that the promotion of equal rights for the minority groups. And the eighth point is that it led to emergence of more democratic and inclusive political systems. And point number 9 is that it led to development of better cultural awareness and appreciation. And the last point is that it led to improved diplomatic relations with other countries.
Thank you. I'm Joseph Wegesa, and I'm the last presenter. I'll be presenting on the challenges. The first challenge was cultural imperialism. Some argue that the Africanization program was a form of cultural imperialism, whereby the African population was forced to adopt a foreign identity. The second challenge was minority rights. Others argue that the nationalist discourse was too heavily focused to the African population and paid too little attention to the needs of the minorities in Kenya. The third challenge was economic disparity. The economic disparities between the different ethnic and tribal groups in Kenya were a source of tension, as the wealthier groups were often seen to be benefiting disproportionately from the nationalist policies. The fourth challenge is political instability. The period of nationalism in Kenya was marked by political turmoil, which led to a breakdown in law and order in certain areas. The fifth challenge is corruption. Corruption was rampant in the government and contributed to the economic decline of the country. And the last challenge was lack of resources. The lack of resources and infrastructure meant that there was limited access to basic services such as healthcare and education for the majority of the population. Thank you, and that is our presentation.